What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the PokeMMO Yap Sesh, and this week we have Park, who is a mod for PokeMMO. You want to introduce yourself a little bit? Tell me what you do, shit like that.
Yeah, of course. My name is Park. I am a community manager slash bug moderator for PokeMMO, and I'm a long-time player as well. So a lot of the OG players will probably know of myself.
Okay, so what kind of are your roles for like PokeMMO? Like, what do you do?
It's kind of a mixed bag. I mean, I still do a lot of the regular like moderator stuff. So like I'll help like with questions and stuff in global, not as much as other mods admittedly, because it's not like part of my actual role to do, and then a lot of the time I'll get caught up doing other things as well. But for the most part, I try to hop in and help as much as I can with obviously like support, and then basically like hosting events, stuff like that. And then on top of that, then on my bug moderator side of things, I'm in charge of basically I'll work along with the developers for like play testing like events and like pitching ideas basically for like future events to make sure that it's cool content basically that we're adding to the game essentially.
That actually reminds me of something that I seen yesterday. It was a clip that Jen Lucky actually had on his stream. I don't know if he reported it to bugs or anything like that, but he somehow spawned in a secret shiny Zorua.
I I actually seen that screenshot. Some of the Mister guys were talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, he DM'd it to me and he sent DM'd me the clip, and his Zorua that was just like a normal one just randomly changed into a secret shiny one
Yeah.
when he put it in the
That's
box.
very weird. I don't know why that would happen.
And then actually another one that happened like that. One of my teammates was breeding Sandiles for like the rest of his playthroughs, and he
Yeah.
duplicated a crocodile.
Wait, like actual duplicated it like mistakenly
Yeah,
or
yeah. So he accident like
that's
he
crazy.
moved it from his box to his party, or the other way around, one of the two, and it created a second crocodile, different gender, same stats, same IVs, and same level.
That's insane. What the hell?
Yeah, so he was confused by it. Like we were all confused. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I've seen like weird glitches like that happen from time to time, and then when it comes to like trying to replicate them to like fix them or whatever, like
Completely
it just
impossible.
doesn't work when you try to do it. Yeah, it's so fucking weird. I don't. Technology is very interesting. I don't understand it.
That also reminds me of like something else because you just got your Charmander, right?
Yeah,
One of my
finally
teammates who's been
after
playing the
2.5
game
years.
for like probably like 200-300 hours.
Yeah.
He got a shiny Charmander today in under 500 eggs.
Right.
It's his second shiny,
Yeah,
and
that's insane.
just figured you'd like to hear that.
Hey, if you're consistent with it, it'll definitely come. That's why everyone was calling me crazy for sticking with the Charmander for as long as I did. But I know, like, it cost me a lot more than I would have liked it to cost me, obviously. But yeah, I mean, we got it now. That's all that matters.
He joined the team 3 days ago, and in
That's
like 3 days ago, he had 186 hours.
Yeah, that's nuts. What the hell?
And randomly just popped in shiny Charmander.
Yeah, that's
I love to see that for him.
crazy. Yeah, one of my like older teammates as well had something kind of similar happen before, where they when Charmander was at Mount Ember, like in the past,
Okay.
one of my friends has spent like a long time there hunting for it, and he had spent a long time there like hunting for it. And one of my older teammates like randomly came up one time to just like hunt with him, and literally first encounter he encountered a tiny Charmander like right next to the guy.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
type of shit that you just love hearing about. Like in like
it's so
just because of
funny.
how crazy the odds are, just like seeing somebody randomly pop something quick is.
Yeah, it's just like would make me so angry if someone did that to me. Like, just they could like hold it over your head for the longest time, just
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
I know one of my teammates is 6 phases dry at Axie right now. and he just gets a guy that was like there with him at one point. He like links him the Axu every day. So,
Oh my god,
so he just
bro,
has,
that reminds me. That reminds me of me back in the day with my shiny Growlithe hunt. I don't know if you've ever seen in the shiny existence thread on the forums. If you like search my name in the thread, there used to be like an ongoing troll in the forums basically where anytime someone would catch a shiny Growlithe or like anything from the Pokemon chain, this was like before they removed Growlithe hordes from the bottom of the Pokemon chain. But basically, I was there for like a year and a half of horde hunting trying to get my shiny Growlithe. And before I got my Growlithe, I got 6 Rattatas and 4 Vulpixes before I got my Growlithe.
yeah, that's definitely tough.
Yeah. So these long hunts are definitely not new to me.
Yeah, I my only experience with that so far is just my Dratini
Your
hunt where
dragon hunt, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But everything else I've been fairly lucky in this game. Like even
Yeah.
now I'm looking at
So
my odds on average and it's like 23,000.
yeah. So no, that's one thing that I'm not looking forward to as well because one of my other goals in the game. Obviously, you know about my goal with the Kanto starters, right? Like,
Mhm.
which is why I went for Charmander. So I've got Blastoise already. Now I've got Charizard, obviously, and then I'm going for Bulbasaur next. But basically, the idea is that I basically get all 3 of them, and then what I want to do is collect all the pink shinies in the game.
Yeah,
So
that's a
obviously,
common one.
Dratini's one of those. Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not looking forward to that hunt at all.
Yeah.
Right now, basically, I'm between like hatching my Bulbasaur eggs. I am currently hunting at the Skitty spot as well,
Okay.
trying to like repel trick for Skitty. Yeah,
Yeah, that's one of the two more common like collection types that I've seen
yeah, everyone does it.
is
Yeah,
pink and bugs. I'm seeing so many people that are just like bug collectors now.
yeah. There's so many nice bug shinies, so I definitely get it. But I mean, then you get into the ninjas and all that kind of stuff, and yeah,
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. That's a hunt I will not be doing.
Yeah. So like I know there's a couple people that are going for the dragons too now. I know there's one guy in the
Yeah,
forums. I'm pretty sure he has them by now because the only one he was
I think
missing was like a
I
guard
think I
shop. I think
recall you. I think I recall you saying at one stage the only one that you're missing now is Bagon, right?
I'm missing Bagon, Altaria, and Dredagon.
Right. Okay. I mean, yeah, the other ones are Bagon's probably gonna be like the hardest out of the
Yeah,
three,
yeah. Oh
right?
yeah,
But
100%. Yeah.
yeah,
The other ones are both 5x horde 100%. So that'll just
I
be like
assume. I
2-3
assume in the
days.
time. Yeah, I assume in the time being you're just doing mostly like Zoroa spot for Shiny Wars.
Yeah, I'm living at Zorla pretty much. During the day,
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid collecting a bunch of Venipedes. So as soon as it hits nighttime, I'll either do like a gym run or play on my alt or something like that.
Yeah. I'm
Just,
surprised you're not doing the Cryogonal spot.
I already hit a Cryogonal.
Yeah, bro, the Cryogonal spot's like really, really broken at the
Yeah,
minute. Like,
it's
I secretly didn't realize how. So basically, I'm sure you've seen it at the start of the event. Obviously, I nerfed that spot and brought Cubchoo's like points down.
mm-hmm.
But I hadn't realized I would have originally nerfed Cryogonal as well had I known that it was still possible to hatch eggs there. So it's just my own fault for like overlooking it. But I thought that it was so far away from the PC that like it would have been way too tedious for people to egg hunt there as
Yeah.
well. But nah, people are taking eggs there as well as obviously doing the Cryogonals, and now I kind of regret not nerfing it. But then it's at the stage where so many people have caught Cryogonals, it would be unfair to nerf it at this
Yeah,
point.
100%. And yeah, like for me now, there's almost no point in me going there. The only way
Yeah.
that I'll get those wings now is going for MVP because
Yeah.
where we're at and where other teams are at, there's just like
Are you doing eggs or anything as well, or are you
no,
just doing Zoroa?
just doing Zoro. I'm too broke for
Yeah, you
eggs.
should. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. I think that to get MVP, it's gonna be very, very hard unless you're like egg tick in there as well.
Yeah,
Unless you got like 5 Zoroas in a row, which is very unlikely.
yeah. From what I'm hearing right now, the team in first, which they've told me to stop talking about it, so I won't say who's in first and how many points they have.
I think I know who it is as well.
But members of that team, apparently the highest is around like 80 points to themselves, like 80 or 90 points to
Yeah,
themselves.
I'm not sure. There's a couple of really nice eggs, obviously, that have been a hit, as I'm sure you've seen. There's been a couple of alphas and stuff too. It's just one of those things, I guess. It's all down to luck at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's why I hit you up. I was like, you should add some more MVP prizes because then I would
Well,
actually have a
yeah.
shot. Because right
So
now I'm
the
sitting at
problem the
47
problem
points.
is, while I think the idea of like awarding MVP for each team or whatever, or like top 5 teams or top 10 teams or whatever, is like a cool idea. I also don't want to like oversaturate the prize into the game, which is like the big thing for me. Because we're planning to with the shiny wars, we're planning to use the Charizard wings as like the reoccurring prize, like going
Oh,
forward for
okay.
the event.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's gonna be like the reoccurring prize for first place.
See,
So
that's at least something that is interesting then.
yeah. So there's like a bunch of factors obviously for the next one. Obviously we get that there's like some errors and stuff that we've made in this one, which was to be expected. Obviously, it's the first kind of rendition of it, but we can obviously improve on those next year, and then hopefully
Yeah,
more people will be happy with the event.
my thought was giving away 50 wings this year instead of 31.
Yeah.
And like so the way I would have had it going is the next top 20 that weren't on the winning team would also get the wings. And it doesn't matter like which team they're from or whatever.
What do you mean, like the top 20? So basically, like winning team gets it, and then top 20 of like the MVP leaderboard get it.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. I mean that could be cool as well, but I think that kind of takes away the
Yeah, for sure.
the point of like MVP winning first place or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. I 100% get it, but I was trying to get my hands on those fucking wings.
Yeah, of course, with everybody. I
Yeah.
get it.
Just
You
anything so
would be
exclusive like
surprised.
that.
Yeah, no, it's a sick looking shiny, like, or it's a sick looking vanity. Sorry.
Yeah, honestly,
Really, really nice.
it could have been like a pile of shit on my head, and just because it was exclusive
Yeah,
to
just
1
because
in
it's
50,
rare, everyone wants it.
it's like yeah, I want it. I don't care.
Yeah, no, that's same common theme for a lot of people. Obviously,
Yeah.
when something's rare in the game, everyone wants it. It's just one of those things. Same
Yeah.
with like the Nyan Hood and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Everyone obviously loves that.
So, how have you felt about War so far?
I think overall the event's been really, really cool. It's been obviously it's hard because unless you're in like one of the top teams, it seems like a lot of the lower end teams have slowed down in terms of like how much effort they're putting into the event. But again, that's one of the things we don't really have any type of control over that, obviously. And then I don't really feel like there's a way to like combat that, because even if we had like live leaderboards, like I feel like the same thing would still happen even
Yeah.
with live leaderboards, probably even more so.
Yeah,
Like people would
100%.
see like this team's 400 points ahead of us in first place. Like what's the point?
The only way, in my opinion, that it could be stopped, it would be the event being shorter.
Yeah. So the problem is, right, and I've said this a couple of times. I don't know if I've ever said it in your chat, but the reason why the event is 2 months this time, and I would have originally liked it to be 1 month as well.
I think 1
the
month is
record. Like,
perfect.
1 month is perfect, but the problem is because there's no like bonus for Safari and stuff like that, and the reason why there's no bonus for Safari, I know Rachel's commented before on the forums like clarifying it, but basically the reason why there's no bonus for Safari is just due to the method of how we're like verifying the entries essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So we have like a really good system set up for the prizes, or not the prizes, sorry, for the verification and like the points and stuff like that, where obviously the points are based on species.
Mm-hmm.
And basically we have like a really strong system set up so that people can't cheese it essentially. Like we basically made like every single measure imaginable to make sure that no one can cheese it and like do something that'll obviously be in bad faith or whatever to get them points on the board. So we kind of wanted to make it as fair as possible for everybody, but it's one of those things. Just it's kind of there's always going to be room for improvement, given it's the first rendition of the event, and we obviously get that. But
Yeah, I might have missed what you said, but what does that have to do with the 2 month instead of 1 month?
so the reason why it is the reason why it's 2 months is because with the points obviously being primarily on species, and given that it's like eggs gives like a really high point yield compared to like hordes and stuff like that.
Yo, you want a
It
chance for
means
hordes to be
that
able to like catch up.
I wanted a chance for hordes to be able to catch up, and I also didn't want, because we knew that the mysterious balls obviously wasn't going to be like a really big factor in the event, whereas a lot of people did think that they would have been. And I think that if the event was 1 month long, then they would have been a lot like more unhealthy for the event, just
Yeah.
basically based on the fact that someone can obviously invest in a pile of the balls and then do a mass open and get like 20-30 point head start on everybody else, and then with less time to catch up, it's like very very hard for other
hmm
teams obviously to make up the ground.
Well,
So it's just basically for balancing
you guys
things
have to
like that.
thank Gamer20 because that motherfucker proved that mysterious
Yeah.
balls are not a factor.
Yeah, so obviously we can't like speak on it because it would have been like unfair obviously to it would have been unfair to, or not unfair, but it would have been like, it would have come across the wrong way basically for us to say. But like we know the rate of like what's in the balls and like what the likeliness is for you to hit like which species inside the balls.
hmm
So like based on that data is why we were okay with like making the balls a scoring method in the event. So we didn't think that like they would have been a problem at all for the event, which obviously it's still one of those things, like you still have the chance obviously to hit a crazy shiny, but it's the likeliness of doing it is, in my opinion, not worth the
No, I mean,
investment. Yeah.
we seen. I'm pretty sure the number was $7,000 spent
Yeah, that
on that ball opening, and I had more
yeah.
points than him that day.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy.
I hit one shiny in Lost Horn Forest and had more points than he did for spending 7,000 on the mysterious balls. It's like, oh
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah, it's just one of those things. It's very hard to justify spending that amount of in-game currency or whatever on them. Like the return's always going to be really really bad unless you're hitting like the best of the best
hmm
essentially from that.
Well, yeah, like I'm obviously not in his financial position, and I'm not like in a position to speak on his either.
Yeah,
But
of course.
like even if he hit the max win, I don't know if $7,000 would not be worth it to me.
Nah, I'm kind of inclined to agree in my aspect as well. Obviously, it's all perspective, I guess.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like
Well, and
if
that's
he
coming from
obviously
a
feels like it's
swiper
just
like
yeah.
themselves. Like I swipe too, but
Yeah, I do as well, obviously, but I don't I don't have the financial backing
yeah,
to swipe that much, or at least to justify swiping that much anyway. But I mean, if it's not gonna put him in a bad position and he feels okay doing it, then
yeah,
yeah, why
exactly.
not?
So any things so far that you've seen that you would change into going into next
Uh,
year? I assume now the plan is to do this yearly.
yeah, the plan is definitely to do it yearly. I feel like overall the event's been good and it's been really, really good for the game as a whole. Obviously, there's a lot of things that we think we can improve on for next year. The big thing for me is I want to add it so that single points are worth more. Like,
hmm
so single
Yeah,
hunts are worth more
singling
going
is
for.
trolling. Singling is trolling right
Yeah.
now.
So yeah, I wanna make sure that the single hunts are more worth going for, and I also wanna make it so that, so basically the free things essentially for me, like they're obviously there's other things as well, but like the top three improvements for me is obviously making the singles more worth it, making it more accessible to like more teams, more players,
hmm
and then if possible I want to figure out a way so that we can give like extra points for like safari bonus and stuff like that, because I know that a lot of the players that like participate in shiny wars do enjoy obviously the safari hunts and stuff like that.
Well, that one should be a fairly easy one to track, though, right?
Yeah, it's
Because they have the
basically,
safari ball on them.
yeah, exactly, yeah, but we don't have a, on the system that we use there's no like set way for us to track the ball with the mons being
Okay.
spawned in, and then as well at the same time, obviously, as I'm sure you know, you can just change the ball that your mon's in once you get to it. So
Well, can you change
it's
to a Safari ball?
yeah. You can change from a Safari ball. I'm pretty sure once. So if you pull up, wait, are you on the game at the minute?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So are you when you're out of a battle? Actually, you might be able to do it in a battle as
That's
well.
fine. I'll
But see
check.
if you pull up the summary for one of your mons.
Yeah, I'm looking at the balls right now. So you can't
Yeah.
change to a
So right
Safari.
click. Yeah. No. 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 You can't change to a Safari because you obviously don't have them in your inventory.
Yeah,
But you can change away from a Safari ball, which obviously if someone were to do that and they caught a Safari shiny, it would invalidate it being a Safari shiny,
yeah.
which
Hey,
wouldn't be fair to the player. So yeah, it's very very hard for us to check, but I don't know. We'll try and figure it out for next year if possible. But
yeah,
it's that's quite a bit away, so
yeah. You got lots of
we're not
time,
really looking at that
and
right now.
and I
Yeah,
sure this proved that it could be that like that it is a successful event, right? I'm sure.
yeah, I think so.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
a
would
lot of.
definitely say that it
I'm
is.
sure a lot of real life money came into the game, so obviously it's lucrative for the devs too, which isn't like the only thing that matters, but like it is a factor, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the money side of things. Obviously, that's not my area, so I can't really comment too much on that. But I know that in terms of like player engagement and stuff like that, like when the event was posted on the forums, and then basically like every day after that for like a long period, like the forums was like buzzing with it. Like it was the like talk of the event on the forums is crazy.
Yeah.
Like everyone was really excited for it.
And
And
as somebody who like has like a different perspective too, there was more eyes on the game as well. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
like like it started to die down a little bit now, the hype over it, but like
Yeah.
my
So
viewership numbers were insane at the beginning. And
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like one of the big things for me as well when I was like planning the event, and this was more of like a personal thing for me because I like watching it or whatever. But like for me, one of the things that I really wanted this event to do is to encourage more players to like actually stream the game on Twitch
mhm,
or like on YouTube or whatever, because I know that obviously and that has happened from what I see. Like, there's definitely a lot more players streaming the game like actively now since the war started compared to like previously.
mhm.
Like, I see that the categories and stuff on Twitch are normally a lot busier for MMO. But I like for personal reasons or for selfish reasons rather. Like, I like watching a lot of streams and stuff whenever I'm working in the background. So it's nice to just have the content in the background of like the people that I wouldn't normally watch or live. And I just think that it's obviously good publicity as well for the game if people are streaming the game and they're enjoying the game too.
Yeah, to me, that's like one of the biggest things that's lacking in PokeMMO compared to like most games is that this game just doesn't really have content creators.
Yeah,
And
I
I
feel
think,
like Pokemon, other than obviously the mainline games as well, like the community for Pokemon is obviously huge, but like outside of the mainline games, like the back end that it gets on Twitch and like our streaming platforms isn't it's not the best. Like
yeah, I feel like videos are more popular among like
yeah,
Pokemon in
I
general.
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
And that like that sucks for somebody like me
One
who's I
one thing that I actually have spoken to like a few people that stream, like I've spoken to Pat about it in the past, and I've spoken to I think I've spoken to Ramel about it as well before. That one thing that I'm like surprised isn't utilized a lot more with PokeMMO content creators is people using TikTok,
yeah.
because TikTok is a insane way for like channels to grow. Like it's actually nuts.
Yeah,
So
I've thought about doing it as well. Like
yeah,
it's just that I'm a fucking 30-year-old man and the idea of like creating on TikTok kind of makes me want to kill myself. But
yeah, no, that's valid.
but like I have thought about it and like I'm working now on getting at least my shiny reaction clips into short YouTube shorts and TikTok format.
Yeah, just short form content. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, no, that's smart. Yeah.
and then they'll probably end up going up on there. But
I think that the potential to like grow from it and obviously make it into like a good income and stuff is obviously
mhm.
it's unlimited like on TikTok because of how crazy the platform is, and then it only takes like one or two videos to go viral, and then if you can obviously transfer those followers or like viewers or whatever
Yeah.
over to your other platforms, then you're golden, obviously.
Well, like the thing that like I've been saying too is in order for like content creators to grow in PokeMMO, it has almost nothing to do with getting the PokeMMO community to watch you.
The
It's
problem
just growing the
is,
PokeMMO
yeah.
community in general
Well, the
because
problem is as well. I feel like with PokeMMO and content in general, like everything is like rinsed and repeat. Like all the same content is just basically out there. So it's kind of, if you're looking for like a niche like type of like content within the game, then it's very very hard to find something that's like unique for your channel or whatever. Whereas in other games, like not like Pokemon in general, but like other games as a whole, like some channels tend to have like their own niche, which obviously makes them drive viewers to their channels and stuff like
Mhm.
that. Whereas with PokeMMO, it's very hard to do that because of like what's available to do in the game. Like
Yeah, I think
there's only a handful of things you can do.
there's only one person really who's doing anything like different in PokeMMO from what I've seen, and that would be like Team Rocket.
Yeah, his content's very, very good. Yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
he's
like
the
Team
only one who's
Rocket's
like,
content, and there's another guy that I tend to watch sometimes as well that I think has good content. What's his name again? Let me
what
see if
kind
I
of
can find
content
it.
does he do? What does he do?
He does a mix of like a lot of different things actually. So oh yeah, so it's a guy called Dom's PokeMMO. So I watched a lot of his stuff in the past, and then I think Young Cabbage has really good content as well. His
Yeah.
content's very good
Well,
too.
yeah, like, that's the whole. He's the whole reason that I started a podcast was
Yeah,
because of his. He did his originally, and
I
then
remember. Yeah, I remember seeing
yeah, and then he got busy with work, so I was like, well, fucking.
it. My turn.
I enjoyed watching the podcast, so I was like, "Fuck!" Well,
Yeah,
there's gonna be no more podcasts. Well, that's a perfect hole for me to fill in. So fuck it.
yeah, yeah. Why not?
And
Makes
then
sense.
now he's come back, so we've got two podcasts going. Which
Hey, it's more for the community. It's better. It's
yeah,
not a bad
exactly.
thing at all.
And like in
Yeah.
my opinion, podcasts are like one of the perfect things to have on the side while you're hunting, right? Like you need to pay zero attention to
Yeah,
them and
yeah, exactly.
just throw it on and
Kind
listen.
of. I always have something on the background. Yeah, whenever I'm playing the game. A lot of the time, what I'll do is I'll make eggs, and then most of the time now I'm trying not to do so much because obviously I'm trying to do the skinny hunt while I'm hatching my eggs. But like when I was doing Charmander, I would literally make 10 boxes of Charmanders, and then while I've been working, I'll sit in the bottom of like my silver PC for like 8 hours, basically hatching my eggs.
Yeah,
Like I wouldn't move from there. I would just sit there the whole day hatching eggs.
yeah, I
But that was
know.
because I was only doing Charmander encounters. Like I wasn't doing anything else.
Yeah, I know some people will. Like I know one guy for sure that like he just throws his phone in his pocket while he's at work and
Yeah.
will hatch them, pick up his phone in 5 minutes, switch them out, and just hatch them again for 5 minutes while his phone's in his
Yeah,
pocket.
that's the way to do it. Yeah, you
Yeah,
just gotta be productive with it. It's crazy. Like there's so much to do.
yeah, that's one thing I'm excited for. One thing that I find PokeMMO really is missing is group content, like being able to do anything as a group, really. So that's what like
Yeah,
raids is one of the things I'm more excited for because then it's actually something that you could do as a group without like setting it up yourself.
yeah. I'm actually super excited for the raid. So that's one of the things that I'm actually that's one of the things that I'm actually doing like in my role is I'm working with Rachel to do a lot of the raid testing and stuff like that, and then I'll put like ideas and stuff to her to try and improve it in the game or in general. Like it's very very solid anyway. The stuff that they've obviously got planned for the game, but where I can, if I have ideas, obviously I'll chip in and give my feedback on it or whatever, and then
Yeah.
if it's a good idea, then cool. If not, then it's fine
Yeah.
also.
The main thing I'm nervous about for raids is I'm mostly just worried about it being copy and pasted from what we've seen in Lunar New Year. because
Yeah,
I don't think that will have much staying power in terms of like keeping people interested. So I'm hoping there's a little bit more to it than that.
yeah. There's some other things that we're working on behind the scenes, like to try and make it long term,
Hmm.
like for the game. Obviously, we get that having to be really repetitive won't be fun or whatever for the game, but we're trying to like figure out ways to make it like fun for the players and to obviously keep it fresh, I guess, whenever we're playing it, so that it's not just a copy and paste, like you
Yeah,
said.
yeah, because like when you're doing raids in Lunar New Year's, there's almost like no real difference besides like the battling to just like going to do a normal alpha, right? Like there's like
Yeah, yeah.
so like as long as there's something that in there that could switch it up. I'm excited for raids, but I do think it could be a little bit scary.
I'm excited for it. A lot of the ideas and stuff, obviously, that we have for the raids is really fun, but I don't know. It's one of those things. We'll just have to wait and see how it goes, I guess. But
Do you think if this is something that you can't talk about, that's fine. But do you think there's going to be new alphas released into the game that are going to be raid exclusive?
uh, as far as I know, that is the plan to
Okay.
release some of them, yeah, into the
Okay.
game via raids. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one that I was like thinking of because obviously we have the roamers for Gen 1 and Gen 2. But
Yeah, I mean, obviously, it's everything as you know with this game, everything is subject to change. Like
mhm,
as of right now, I know that there's that's the plan is to implement some of the new stuff through the raids, but
yeah, it's
that could
exciting.
obviously change in a whim if they have a better idea or like think
Yeah.
something's better to implement it or whatever. But
Yeah, well, I was thinking personally that the trio for Hoenn um would be a perfect like raid den boss because like they're not roamers. Obviously, Latios and Latios are roamers, but like
yeah,
the Reggie trio, if they're not roamers, you
yeah,
go
the
to a
Reggie
certain
trio.
spot and they're there.
Yeah,
So I was thinking like those would be like a perfect mon for raids.
yeah. I mean, the opportunities are obviously endless for
Hmm.
raids. I think that soon enough, anyway. I think that there will be an update for the raid, so players will obviously have a bit of an idea of like what we've been working on and stuff like that.
Yeah, well,
But
I think Rach said that the goal right now is before Halloween. So
yeah, I don't know anything specific to like dates or anything like that, but
yeah, um,
I know that from what I know, the actual raid system and stuff that they're working on is it's quite complex, but it's one that they're like pretty determined to make like solid before they actually release it,
yeah, you
basically.
don't want to release it fucked up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
um, Oh yeah, one of the other things that I was thinking of too is like for like raids and like additional content that they could add to this game. I'm not sure what exactly is like because obviously I don't know how they develop the game and shit like that, and I know they use ROMs for a lot of it. So like raids to me was something that was like even a little bit confusing. I don't know how much they can edit with the ROMs and like add to the game without it being like a problem for the Pokemon
Yeah.
company or anything like I don't know what they can do with the game. So I know a lot of people have like these big ideas of like stuff that they can add to the game, but I don't know exactly what they can actually add because then it would become like
Yeah, like it would be them like
adding to the
doing
game
more
like too
than what,
much.
yeah, like I get what you mean, yeah. I don't know, it's hard to say, like that's definitely not like an area that I would be very good in either. Like I wouldn't be very good at knowing what they can and can't do, obviously.
Yeah,
But
I think
no,
yeah.
they have a team of people that obviously are very in the know with that stuff. Like they'll do obviously what they can, like if it's good for the game and stuff like that. But yeah, the idea is obviously to maintain the game, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's
So
not just technical limitations that are like stopping them from doing stuff. It's also like
yeah,
legal limitations. Like,
I would assume so.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very hard to say, but I don't know. It's they know what they're doing anyway. They've been doing it for a long time. So
Yeah. And so you're talking a little bit about live leaderboards possibly for next year, like that's the plan on
that's the that's
or
the
the
goal
hope.
at least anyway. If we can make it happen, yeah. But it's a
Well,
lot
that
of factors,
that
obviously.
opens up a lot of opportunities too, right? If you get the leaderboard system set up where it's live and stuff like that, you could really set up other live leaderboards from like in-game information and stuff like that. Like right now we have the PokeMMO zone. Uh like
Oh yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
that, but that's just going off of like his bot pulling from the
Yeah,
forums,
that's
right?
going off forums. Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
if you get into a point where you can use live leaderboards to track Shiny Wars teams, then I assume you're not too far off from being able to track just like anybody in the game, right?
Well, I assume that they can do that anyway now. The problem is it's all down to obviously what information they want to make like public to the players and stuff like that, because not everyone's obviously under the same impression where they're okay with their stuff being made public.
Mm,
Like there's probably some players that obviously don't want like what they have like made public to the players.
yeah,
So it's
I
kind
guess
of it's a
that could be
very like
that could be
touchy
something that
subject.
like you like an option that you could turn on or off to
Yeah, like you
share
opt
your
into it or
personal.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's valid. It's a good idea, but it's I don't know. It's one of those things that it would be down to the devs obviously, and whether they think it would be good to add to the game.
yeah. I think I don't know if it's like 100% true, but I feel like the devs have maybe undershot how much shiny hunting really is in this game. Like how much people actually
Mm,
just like only shiny hunt or like is like a big part
I
of.
don't think it's I don't even think it's that necessarily. I feel like it's very hard to it's very hard to have like events like this that are like for PvE as a whole. Like the ideas that they can actually do in the game are like very limited, I guess, for PvE events.
This is just something that
Whereas
kind of.
obviously PvP is a bit different, obviously, because PvP obviously has like multiple different formats and like different tiers, and then they have like niche like rule sets and stuff like that. So there's like a lot of opportunity, I guess, for PvP.
Mhm.
Whereas with PvE, it's a bit more harder to plan like unique events and stuff for PvE. I feel.
Yeah, I forget. Somebody was telling me like they're talking about an option for um PokeMMO like for playthroughs, like where you could start your account as like a Nuzlocke account. Because I know that's very possible in like other games. I've seen it like they have that
Yeah,
setting set up. So like so
I think that Nuzlocke would be cool. Yeah, that would be a cool option to add. There's definitely obviously endless opportunities for stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah.
to be added.
And then the number one thing that I've probably been like begging for since I've started playing PokeMMO is an in-game encounter tracker, like encounter counter.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
fucking
that's something that I would love to have as well.
because
Yeah,
the third party ones are like they're okay,
bro, I've
but
had so many instances where I use Archetype myself
yeah.
for my own like encounter tracking, and I had it like very recently where my tracker just literally stopped working. Like it just reset a bunch of my encounters, and I
Hmm.
had to like go through manually and count it all up again. And it was just it's annoying.
Yeah, the biggest one, like I had a lot of problems with Gillians. Obviously, I know Gillians isn't like updated anymore or anything like that, and it's not current.
Yeah,
But
I can't use Gillen's one on my PC neither. It's
yeah,
a
I used it probably for like a year now, and then I finally made the switch to Archetype. I was using Gillian's for a long time, and I was like, well, the next time my computer crashes and Gillian's open, I'm gonna switch to Archetype, and then it finally happened. I'm like, all right, we're off, because like you lose all of your information if your PC crashes while you have Gillian's open. So like even just like power outages or anything like that, it just like completely corrupted all
yeah.
my files. And I'm like, Fuck.
The problem that I personally would think would be bad for the game is like with in-game shiny or encounter tracker rather
Mhm.
is a lot of the players, well, not a lot, but like some of the players might not be like fully aware how the actual like odds works, and then they would just assume that once they hit 30k or whatever like the rate is, so like 30k or 27k if you have
Mhm.
like donator or with a shiny charm, whatever. But they would think like once you hit that number, like you're guaranteed to get a shiny. Where obviously you know that that's not the case. Like that's not how it is. But like
Yeah.
some players might get like confused about that, obviously,
Yeah,
and
at that point, like, fucking, I understand what you're saying, but I don't know if like that's the type of players that you really want to like build your game around, right? Like, you don't want
yeah,
you
no,
don't
no,
want
no.
to
I get.
you don't want to add something that is like beneficial for most players because there's like some people that are just really dumb and don't understand how odds
I.
work.
It's not even that. It's not even that. It's like that. It's more so that opens a lot of because obviously the tracker's like built into the game. Like that opens a lot of like silly support requests and stuff. Just basically with people asking stupid questions like that
Mm,
because they're not like educated on how it works or whatever.
yeah, that's true. Like,
Yeah,
like
it's it's
it,
it's
it's
very
it sucks.
hard.
It
Like
sucks that you
there's
can't
so
just do
many.
something because people are stupid, right? Like,
Yeah, no, no, no. Well, for what it's worth, I do think it's a good idea as well, and I
yeah,
definitely think it would be. I mean, they can make it something that's like toggleable or something like that.
yeah,
Like you could obviously toggle it on or toggle it off or whatever.
and
But
like you have a guy who's working on archetype right now who could like help you do it. Like you
yeah,
don't even really have to start from the ground up. Like
yeah, I feel like tracker wouldn't be like super complicated for them to make anyway.
yeah.
In general, like it wouldn't be. It would be pretty simple for them to make. But there's a lot of like really talented like developers and stuff
Hmm.
in the community, like guys like FA Berg and stuff like that. Like they obviously make a lot of their own stuff as well.
Are you allowed to talk about PokeForce at all?
No,
Okay.
it wouldn't
Okay.
be.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I'm aware of it. I've
Yeah.
not played for what it's worth. I've not played any of the
Yeah.
like betas or anything, but from I know that a lot of people are interested in it, and I know that a lot of people are excited for it. So it's cool, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Obviously,
yeah, it's
competition's better, right? Like
yeah,
it
I think so.
it
Yeah,
pushes
for sure.
both games forward. But yeah,
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah,
the only reason I was asking was just because I asked because their devs were like asking about like possible additions and like shit like that, and I brought up the encounter tracker, and they're like, yeah, that should be like a fairly easy add if like if
yeah,
we find it
no,
worth
that's
it.
good.
So
Yeah, no, no, no. I think it's definitely something that could be added to the game if they felt it was necessary or whatever. But
hmm.
I'm not. The issue is I'm not a developer and I can't really speak for the
Yeah, yeah,
developers. Like I
exactly.
can only really control the things that I can control. Obviously, I'm in the position at least where I'm like able to make
Yeah,
suggestions
yeah, you're in their ear
and
at
they
least,
get
right?
listened to or whatever. But it's one of those things. They have a they have like a set direction that they want to go with the game, and it's not really my place to derail that and tell
Yeah,
them how to
yeah,
run their
yeah,
game. Like
exactly.
they know what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, there's
But nah, for Pokeforce, I know that I wouldn't really speak much on it because I've not played it and I'm not like very educated on it, I guess. But I've seen obviously people making videos about it, and I've seen people discussing it and stuff like that. And I can tell that people are definitely excited for it. So it's cool. Competition is definitely good, I feel.
yeah, 100%. You don't want one game having the monopoly on like everything because then they can kind of do what they
Yeah,
want and don't really
exactly.
have
Yeah.
don't have to answer for it.
Nah, yeah, that's 100%. Yeah, you're definitely not wrong.
But yeah, it's exciting to see more competition and like even just in PokeMMO, I feel like I've seen a lot of like I've seen the game flourishing right now, which it usually doesn't during this like downtime of like no events or anything like that. So it's good to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Obviously, I feel like the Shiny Wars is definitely one of the factors that have done that.
Hmm.
But yeah, this period of the game is usually usually a period that obviously is quite slow for the game because it's people usually use this period to basically chill for a bit before event season
Yeah,
comes
because people
for
burn
like
themselves
Halloween
out.
or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, now people
and
know what's coming, obviously, so they'll chill
and
for a
there's
bit.
just like not much to do either, right? Like it's like
Yeah, no, that's it.
if you're not into PvP, and you're not into shiny hunting, it's like, well, there's not really much end game content to get into.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not wrong.
Which why
It's
I'm like
one
excited
of
for
those
raids,
things.
right?
Even yeah, raids I think will be fun. I feel like in terms of like just that in general, where if you're not like playing PvP or if you're not shiny hunting, like it's very hard to obviously the things are there like you there it's very like hard to find something that you can do to like make you enjoy playing the game or like to be like a good use of your time. I know people obviously will do like ditto hunting and stuff like that, or they'll do like gym runs to try and like build their yang count and stuff like that. But I feel like the options could definitely be there could be more options there basically,
Yeah,
which maybe down the line there will be, but it's
I
we'll see.
I've heard of speaking of like some money making, I've heard of some tinfoil hat conspiracies on why mysterious balls were allowed in the event. But besides like just they not thinking that they would be a big factor, I've heard some conspiracy theories that we're trying to empty out the balls in the game so that they could not return.
I got no idea about that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. So like what people have been saying is that they're trying to we included the balls in the shiny wars so that they would all be used or a, a lot more of them would be used to like drain the market of them as much as possible and then not release anymore because they didn't like what they did for the game or they
I
thought the
no,
integrity was kind
so
of bad.
with the balls and stuff being like a scoring method in the event, like that wasn't even a decision that like was made by the devs. Actually, for the matter, like for Shiny Wars as a whole, like none of the actual stuff in the event was like decided by the devs. Like the whole event, like everything basically was planned by me and Enzo for the most part.
Okay.
And then obviously we got like input on some things that we were like not 100% certain on. We would have went to like some of the staff members, so like Berminator and like Rachel and like a few other people. We would go to them to like get their inputs on things, but like in terms of like actually running the event or like choosing what's what, like they pretty much gave us the reins. To be completely honest, they
Okay.
let us decide what we thought was good for the event, and then if they obviously thought something was bad, they would have told us it. But for the most part, it was pretty smooth
It was
sailing.
just like
It was
here, fucking have at it, and
yeah, but it wasn't like planning the event as a whole wasn't like a straightforward thing. Like I don't think that I've said this like publicly before or anything, but the actual Shiny Wars like concept as a whole for like an official event was actually mine to begin with. I was the one that like came up with the idea originally. But obviously it took inspiration obviously off some previous wars that I played before, and then obviously knowing that like Mister did their own war and then some other teams were doing their wars and stuff.
yeah,
But I was actually planning it from like January time, like this year, so like the start of the year basically, and it took like probably 6 months for like everything to come together because there was like a lot of like things that we had to like figure out. So like the scoring system, how we're gonna validate entries, and like make sure that people can't cheat, stuff like that.
yeah,
Like that was something that we obviously
and
put a lot of time into.
even just the signing up process was like a nightmare. Like, so
Yeah,
like it's hard to like. Hopefully next year, if there is like a live leaderboard and there's like a way to track without having to go into the accounts and stuff like that and like count manually, then maybe next year it'll be more of a possibility to have more teams.
yeah, I feel like the option's definitely there. Like it is something that we think may be possible next year. Can't say for certain. Obviously,
Yeah,
it's there's a lot of things obviously to come into whether or not it's going to be able to be done. But we are looking to make the event more accessible to more players and stuff next year. Yeah, but it's
Yeah, it's really
at this time, like we can't say it absolutely will or it absolutely won't because we don't know. To be completely honest,
yeah,
it's very hard
but
to say.
that is a good point. Like a good part of like the event this year is there's just so much that can be learned from it.
Yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, like we expected it. Like I get like a lot of guys that'll be messaging me, telling me like you should have done this, you should have done that, and it's like they don't understand obviously the things that we have available to us to like check that people aren't cheesing the event or
Hmm.
whatever, and then it's like as well as that obviously we get that because it's the first version of the event, like we understand that there was going to be some things that can be improved upon and stuff like that, but it's it's one of those things we just learn from it and we hopefully can make it better next year.
Yeah, one thing that's been really exciting this year is just like because you're doing a multiple team war. Usually they have a really good chance of getting messy. But with it being
Yeah.
like an officially held event, I think there's been almost no real issues that have come up from this.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things like they can't with other wars I've seen like a lot of like silliness or like debate within like other teams and stuff just over how scoring is or just
Mhm.
silly things like if someone gets lucky or whatever, but when you kind of
When
when
things are
you
set
kind
in
of put
stone,
everyone on the same playing field and it's like set on stone from the very start, yeah, it's like people can't really debate it, I guess, because
it is what
it's
it
something
is.
that we've obviously like long fought out, yeah, and
Yeah.
it's what is actually best for the event. So
So, is there anything that you wanted to talk about, like yourself, or just fucking came in and ready to answer questions?
hey, no, I'm here, I'm chilling. I'm here to answer whatever you need to ask me as long as I can. But
Yeah,
no, I say to this, I'm just a normal player, just like you. I play the game, I shiny hunt,
yeah,
I'm lazy. I sleep. I work.
yeah.
No different to you. We do the same.
You do. You have any like hidden tech moneymakers that you use that I don't know about?
Absolutely not. I am broke, just like you are. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I think I've done
nah,
my seventh gym run ever today.
bro. I hate it. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
Yeah, I've started doing it and getting my alt ready, playing through
So
that. Just like
I have alts and stuff as well, and I do gym runs and stuff as well. But a lot of the time, it just gets to the point where I'm so like, if I like need yen in the game, I just be so tired from work, and I'm just like, yeah, I can't be asked. I'm just like, I'll just load RP instead, and just
yeah,
buy the points.
yeah.
It's
I've
like
tried to limit
whatever.
myself to around 50 a month, just so that.
Yeah, no, I tried the same as well. Yeah, I'm
So
definitely cutting back a lot now because when I was doing Charmanders, like I was going crazy. So I
wait,
also how many encounters I was doing.
yeah. Well, it's 120. Like on average, an egg hunt is 120 mil. So
Yeah, and so I can tell you this right now. So see, with my Charmander hunt, I did 300. I think it was like in the end, it was like 324.7k eggs or something like that.
yeah. So if I go
And I like
324,
I worked it
7,000.
out. Yeah, I worked it out. It was like I'm pretty sure I spent close to like 500 mil on Dittos or something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. If I'm looking right now, so if you did 324,000, we'll just do 324 flat times 4,000 per ditto. Yeah, you're at
Yeah.
1.3 bill.
Yeah, so a lot of the Dittos that I had as well, I had caught myself.
Yeah,
So like I would basically what I would be doing is so I usually play on two devices. I'll play on my PC where I'll be like hatching eggs or whatever when I was working.
yeah,
And then on the side I have my iPad as well and I would connect my PS5 controller to it
yeah,
and I would literally just be sitting in the Ditto cave for like 10 hours a day
yeah.
catching Dittos.
I do think that that's probably one of the best ways to
No,
egg hunt.
yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, there's one of the guys from Mister as well. He does his own like ditto catching for his egg hunts. It's I'm sure you've probably seen him as well. He streams and stuff too. His name's Danny with six Y's.
Okay, yeah, yeah,
That guy's a fiend. He hunts dittos on like free accounts. I'm pretty sure himself,
yeah.
and Yeah, the guy's just a monster.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know how he does it.
like I've started watching a little bit more like Billy now, and
Yeah.
watching
Nah, some of
John.
those guys are both different, yeah.
Watching John, yeah, John is playing on 4 accounts at once,
Yeah, nah, those guys are just both different.
and
I
like
couldn't do it.
egging on 4 different accounts at once.
Yeah, no,
And it's like
that's
holy shit, man.
well, yeah, that's what happened with John with his one of his alpha starters, right? Like he had it on his alt account or
Yeah,
something. I'm pretty sure.
maybe, yeah. I know even during wars, he apparently doesn't have any shinies on his main account,
Yeah,
but
that's
he had a graveler on his alt, so so
God.
he's pretty upset about that.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'd be worried about, like playing on a alt account during
Bro,
wars.
funny enough, I, this is actually like me not even like shitting you or anything. Like this is me being completely serious. I had a message from someone at the start of wars when we were like in the sign up phase, and they asked me were they able to sign up more than one account, and they were basically looking to sign up their main account, and it was like free alts along with it as well.
Yeah,
I'm like, nah, it literally says in the rules that it's one account per person.
yeah. Have you done any checking on that so far to see if like
Not yet. So the plan is we're planning to check all the entries and stuff at the end. We did actually wait. No. I'm lying. Actually, we checked when we did the verification at the start for like the teams and stuff like that.
yeah,
We did check that there was like no alt accounts or anything like that. So we checked that like people weren't using like alts or anything,
that's good.
and we haven't checked anything like related to actual like entries or anything like that. We're not checking any of that until the end,
Yeah,
basically because we're doing it all
it'll be wasting
manually.
your
It
time.
doesn't,
Yeah.
yeah, because we're checking it all manually. It doesn't make sense. We just have to do it again at the end, so it's kind of pointless.
All right, man. Well, we're coming up on an hour already, so I'd like to thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Of course,
Lot of input
anytime.
and just good yapping.
Yeah, we love the yap. I'm very good at it.
Yeah. um,
Yappa all the time.
is there anything else you wanted to like shout out? Like, do you have? I don't know if you have like any kind of services on the forums or anything like that, or I know you're not allowed to make any
No,
content, Twitter, something.
yeah. No, I just be chilling in game, and
All right.
then from time to time you'll see me in people's Twitch chats as well, and
Yeah.
the people that know me on there. So
So if you see Park in game, just send him a whisper.
don't
Eh.
message me. I'm probably AFK hatching eggs.
All right, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Of course,
All right.
anytime,
I
anytime.
appreciate you.